Good night, fellow punters. The clock on the wall says 11 minutes past 8 on another wet, miserable night in the west of Ireland. Not alone is it affecting the roads for travelling and the fields for stock, livestock and of all sorts, but it's affecting the racetrack as well. It affected our horses today. There was definitely two of them that shouldn't have ran, should have been withdrawn. Princess Eleanor and what was the other one? Well Educated. Bring Back the Memories ran no sort of race, which was surprising that it wasn't at any stage in the reckoning at all. And Dr. T.J. Eckleberg, who I expected to win today, traded 1 to 100 in running. It could have been shorter even. Is it the case that he doesn't stay at 2 miles or what? But looked all over winner coming to, in my eyes anyway, and then just folded up. Hard to explain. I didn't get a chance to look at it on, as I say, on the big screen, but I will when I have this up. I had one sort of half recorded today because I was supposed to umpire a Division 1 league match tonight, but no surprise to get a text today to say that was called off. I was just as glad, because I wouldn't like to be standing laying up against the goalpost tonight. You get pneumonia, or at least I would anyway. So we have, I changed a couple that I had picked for good or for bad, for better or for worse, and I have a couple of sort of half selections in Ireland, and I'm going to have a look at the card in Medan tomorrow. I'll leave it to the finish. It'll suit some people, and other people couldn't care less about it, I suppose. Big shocks today. On the other side was he 50 to 1, and I seen there was an 80 to 1, a 40 to 1. The weather is very unpredictable, you see, for horses this time of the year. 2 tomorrow. The 3:08 at Bangor. Manila Trump is the classiest horse in it. It has won, I think, is it 8 out of the last 9 over fences, but this is back to hurdles. Was keeping the weights up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 out of the last 10. Isn't that a great money spinner for an owner? But Brian Hughes takes on the ride on Jungle Jack. This is a very consistent beast. 4 wins and a couple of seconds. 4 wins and 3 seconds. But it ran a grand race, I thought, the last time. But I think the step up and trip, it suits. This was over 2 miles with a nice, classy little horse.
Bullets to Jungle Jack, inching a little closer still. And then Chapel Green and Wada Rev into the last part of the bend, heading towards 3 out. Stainsby Girl, Jungle Jack now coming up to have a crack at her. Chapel Green away to the left, covering the move. Hughes aboard Jungle Jack, glances in behind, sees where the dangers might be. Here's 3 out. Stainsby Girl still leading. Chapel Green untidy there, left a trailing leg. Now Hughes has to shake up Jungle Jack to close. Stainsby Girl is still rolling on. Wada Rev not completely out of it. Stainsby Girl over 2 out quicker through the air than Jungle Jack, who rather ballooned it. Chapel Green is now galvanised in 3rd. Wada Rev in 4th. Stainsby Girl still in front over the last. Quick, amble, neat, accurate. Comes away from it, ambling away from it 4 or 5 lengths ahead. And shaken up to make sure by Kit Alexander. Stainsby Girl is running on willingly all the way to the line. He's going to make every inch of the running here for the Alexander family. Stainsby Girl from...
I think the step up and trip, and it has won at the track before, hasn't it? Yeah, It won Novice Hurl and to second to Harbour Lake, rated 125. Let's check on the betting. Three to 1, 100 to 30. Tanganyika, that's Venetia Williams's. The other selection in England tomorrow is in the 205. And with the way the ground went today, the old reliable Nichols on a Saturday, Espoir de Guye. This does not like good ground or even good to soft. It used to be with Venetia Williams. Won on heavy ground this time last year. And it had previous good form as well on bottomless ground. The last day after wind surgery, it was on good ground. It fell out the back of the television. There is a nice little horse there. I had looked at it first, but the ground that put me off was Super 6. I think that's I was going to put that up each way or Helton, but I thought Espoir de Guye, with the ground as bad as it was today, that them two be the only two I could find in England tomorrow. And onto the Curragh. We have our buddy Earls running tomorrow, but he won 4 for us last year. But none of them were over 5 furlongs. 7.5, 7, a mile and 6 furlongs. He won. The last day, I was at the races the last day with the owner, Martin Sheridan. The best of luck tomorrow, Martin, and if your buddy is going with you, I doubt if I'll travel. But 5 furlongs, first time out, I'm not so sure. Unless I hear anything in the meantime. I thought the horse in the race actually to have an each way bet on was Swift Flight. To second, it's rated 76 now. To second in this race last year, first time out. £6 higher, and the ground was yielding. It's better on heavy ground. Good cushion it. Now the last day it ran, actually they sent it over to France to a race, and he was drawn wide, and he finished 7th to 14. He was beaten only 2 3/4 lengths, but it was a good pot that day. It was 23, nearly 24,000 to the winner. Wasn't beaten all that fair. And the Lincoln is on tomorrow. Where are we? There's 2 over from England. Totally Charming for George Bowie. And the Tam. Totally Charming he won well enough the last day, but he hasn't ran for a while. But a lot of them haven't. And the Tam is down near the bottom of the weights for Willie Haggis, and he's a great strike rate in Ireland. But I thought a horse there, Fit from, it's 14 to 1. Fit from Hurling, Good Heavens, in JP's colours for Joseph O'Brien. That was second of 25 in the Curragh, in the Cambridgeshire. He went off 30 to 2, second favourite to Federal, and that was a stable companion, but it had good back form, that Federal, as well. Fresh from Hurling, it was behind Irish Point the last day, and and it ran another. I thought that might be worth a small few pound each way at it's 14s, I think. Tens in places. I was 14s. I do look at the 365 price to be a bit better and to be guaranteed. How many places are they paying? 6 places. Got the 7 in 1 there. So we will look at Medan. The 1205 is a mile race on the dirt, and Bathrat Leon, he won this last year at 80 to 1, and he went wire to wire. Then he came over to England. He ran behind Baid, and he ran in behind in Spiral. It won in Rhea. It went out in front again and just held on from Casa Creed, Billy Mott's horse over from America. It's a gutsy little horse, that Bathrat Leon. It's favourite, but it's not 80 to 1 this year. There's 2 closers. If that sets a pace and doesn't get the fractions right, and if the Discovery Island and Princess Ejai, they'll be the closers, but it's a right little horse, and it's still only 5. The Japs are going pretty well over there. That'll be hard bet in it. The 1240, we have our 2 mile race. Shishgani is favourite. We have our buzz horse in it, Iname. Ran a mighty race the last time in Rhea, and was second, and it won previously. It had wind surgery. But it's a good price. It has improved the size altogether. We won on this last year in tipped it up, I think, at 6s and it won at 11s in Musselborough. It was off 99. We have to stay probably loyal to it. They're paying 4 places, I think. It was as good subjection as that won an Ascot Gold Cup, which was off then for a year and a half more, 20 months, I think. Quick turn. It's Broome is there, they're good horses. It's a good race, without a doubt. The 115 is the sprint. We have, I think it's between the top 2 in the market, actually. Johnny Murt has one there, Ladies Church, but it never ran at 6 furlongs. All its runs was at 5. We have a 3-year-old there. It's in the green cap. It's only a 3-year-old George Bowie trainer.
Kings 2 lengths adrift. They followed by Thunder of Niagara, who's coming out of the pack. Mick Yoss leaning on to Old Dasson. Old Dasson now gets alongside Mick Yoss. City walk back in 3rd. Then comes Thunder of Niagara. Old Dasson in front gets the better of Mick Yoss. Old Dasson, a sprinter with a seriously bright future. Old Dasson wins it by 2. Mick Yoss big.
And that Mick Yoss is no jaw. Australian horse. Another Australian horse there is the Australist, but I don't think it has won a race, but it's placed in a good few. Logo Hunter used to be trained by on the Curragh by Michael Brown, and that got hurt the other day. Happy Romance, decent horse with Hannons, but Sight Success, Ryan Moore is on this. This is a proper Group 1 horse as well. And Moore was up close to it because we actually tipped this and we backed Wellington in Châtain in the 11th of December, and Ryan Moore was on it, and the horse that he beat was Sight Success. And it's interesting that he gets onto this.
Wellington next, and then Gendarme. Sight Success, Mikhail Yell is still there. Then came Stronger, Lucky Swainess in deep traffic from Courier Wonder. And here's the big boy. Here comes Wellington. Sight Success. Wellington's after him from Mikhail Yell, Courier Wonder and Skyfield. Wellington ranged up to Sight Success. Courier Wonder and Skyfield. Wellington, he's back to his best, baby. He's a sprint winner. Wellington from Sight Success.
It was definitely the jockey that won that race, and that's the reason I tipped him up, because he's hungry and he's good when it comes to Group 1s. And it's amazing. Well, it's not amazing, but he's well drawn in 13. He'll get a good position. The 3-year-old gets £5 from the mayors in the race, like Ladies Church, and it gets £9 from Sight Success. That could sway it for the 3-year-old, but I think Sight Success will be right there with Moore in the irons, well drawn. On to the 150. This is the Derby, the Arab Derby, United Arab. But Billy Matson's, well, that's O'Brien's horse there, Cairo, has won a listed race in Dundalk recently. Matson's over a horse called Worcester. It has ran 3 times and it hasn't won a race. But in the last time it ran, it was the farthest it went, was 8.5 furlongs. And this is 9 furlongs tomorrow. The other 2 races it had was 6 and 6.5. Now he had 3 runners in this race. And the Tory Road Newgate, but watch Worcester that finished third, but watch the way he closed to the line, and they brought this fellow over and they left the other 2 in the Barden. It's just interesting why they chose this one.
And willingly on the outside, and Worcester is down at the rail. They have a quarter of a mile to go, hard to figure, Arabian Lion, but here comes Newgate after them in third. And Worcester trails 3/16 of a mile to go. Newgate on the outside and hard to figure has the lead. Newgate trying to get by him second. Arabian Lion is back to third. A 16th to go. Newgate, hard to figure, tough. Newgate has the advantage though, and it's Newgate to score by about a head. Hard to figure second. Worcester third.
He ran on pretty well to the line on their hands and heels. And I'd say that's why they said there's a bit more improvement, another half a furlong tomorrow. So that'll be an each way play in that race. It's 5 to 6 to 1, 5 to 1. It was 6 to 1 with the green bookie earlier as well. The 225. Switzerland won this last year, but the Godolphin has a horse. They own this and is trained in Japan. It's a speedster, but I've no video of it. It was going to take me 10 minutes to find it. Well, it wouldn't, but near it. But it's a pure speedball, and he has won a few races. CZ Rocket, he was second in the Breeders' Cup, but he's 9 years of age. I actually backed him in the Breeders' Cup at a big price. Where is out of Lemon Drop Kid, by Lemon Drop Kid, out of a Giant's Causeway mare. 5-year-old. That could be hard stopped in that race. Godolphin wouldn't be bringing him from Japan for nothing. We have the Turf. This is Serifos.
Side Lotus Land, so
with the yellow cap
nothing really
to the very right of the picture.
Matenro Orion switches back to the inside. Win Carnelian just in Gaffey, looking for a one through the middle, and also starting to rattle on his Soul Rush. There's a squeezing action and getting chopped off. There at the inside is Ho Hamzan, down the outside, rattling home Serifos. Damien Lane, his fourth Group 1. Serifos wins from down on the Kid.
He won on the snaff, coming from last to first. I don't know whether that was deliberate or not. Lord North dead heated last year with Pantalassa, who is in the classic or the World Cup, and won it the year before. But if he shows that turn of foot, and he's only in the only 4, yeah. If he doesn't get in bad position, the turf race, then this is another monster of a horse.
Outside, coming on now with Euphoria, taking off around the outside. Hold on, Washington up in the second half, up into fourth position as they swing to home. There is South Point as well.
That's Equinox, and has kept it for the race. Westover is there. He won an Irish Derby a couple of years ago. He was second in an Epsom Derby. Botanic, I tipped it before, but there's nothing in the class of that Equinox. Even money. He was even money all day. Christophe Lemire for Kimura. Looks the most likely winner of that mile 4 race. They'll be all ready for action tomorrow, and that brings us on to the Group 1, won last year by Country Grammar. I actually backed it 11-1 last year. Algiers is for Simon and Ed Crisford. They used to be with the Godolphin. And the speed horse in the race is Pantalassa. It's drawn 15, and the other 2 are drawn wide as well, which is not the place to be in Medan. Algiers won 2 prep runs there in great style altogether. Hasn't ran at this level before. Country Grammar was second the last time, closing down Pantalassa at 9 furlongs. He's a 10 furlong horse, without a doubt. We'll even watch last year's. It took him all his time to get there. He was looking like he was going to be 4th or 5th at the furlong pole. But he's a relentless galloper.
They got just over 400 metres left to run, and Life is Good guides them into the home straight. Now gets asked a question, but he's kicked 2 lengths clear of Midnight Bourbon, who's second. Country Grammar third. Hot Rod Charlie's towards the inside rail. Then comes Chewer Wizard, 200 metres out. Life is Good is the leader. Country Grammar second. Hot Rod Charlie continues to gain ground towards the inside. Life is Good with a target on his back. Country Grammar getting the upper hand, draws alongside, and Country Grammar with his date with destiny in front. A length and a half, Country Grammar.
On the last day, he was at 9 furlongs in Rhea. He got tapped for toe as well in the middle of the race. Ran on the same as the last time. He was second previously in a race to Flightline in America. But there's one horse here at a huge price. I actually tipped him up and I put a few pound on him for Rhea. Is Jun Light Bolt. And Ryan Moore rode him that day. And I did say at the time that he had no prep run. But maybe that was a prep run for this. Because he showed a mighty turn of foot to win in Tokyo before that. And Moore stays loyal. And even watching back the video of it there last night, he didn't go awfully backwards. He he wasn't fit and he needed the run. So he's a huge prize. So why does Moore stay? I'm trying to read between the lines. Now, that does happen at times that it works, but he's 20-1 with a few bookies there. They're paying 4 places and some of them are playing 5. But of the ones, Country Grammar to me is the most likely winner. Although Algiers has a quicker turn of foot between the 2 furlong and the 1 furlong. He'll be trying to get home. But the draw is going to be crucial, and will Pantalassa get across to be able to that has to front run. So Moore is drawn in trap 3, so he could get a nice position, and he has a good turn of foot. Some of you remember I showed that video, I think, the last time. So anyway, that'll suit some of me, and I'll write some of them up after a while when I get a chance. Cheers, I'm talking a long time again tonight. There's one in Limerick I fancy on Sunday. I might actually go to Limerick. I don't think I'll go to the Curragh. It depends if it's not raining. Bash the bookies over and out.